Greetings of universal peace and solidarity and a pleasant day to everyone. We are the Group 7 and we will be discussing Chapter 7, The Teacher in the Community, Teachers' Ethical and Professional Behavior. For the learning outcomes, at the end of this chapter, you should be able to first elaborate on community's expectation from teachers and on teachers' expectation from communities. Second, describe teachers' ethical and professional behavior in a community by giving concrete examples. For the abstraction, Code of Ethics for Professional Teachers, Article 3, the very title of this unit indicates that teachers are expected to be part of the community. To be part of the community definitely means to participate in the life of that community. What is that community referred to here? The 8 sections of Article 3 of the Code of Ethics refers to the community within the school and the community outside the school. How can teachers be a part of the community? The various sections of Article 3 give more details. Now let's proceed to the lesson proper. Good day, I am Rehan Abdulmanan Mubarak and I will be discussing teacher as facilitator of learning. Article 3, Section 1 states that a teacher is a facilitator of learning and the development of the youth, therefore shall render the best service by providing an environment conducive for such learning and growth. The word facilitator came from the word facilitate, which means to make something easy or easier. You, as a professional teacher, facilitate learning or make learning easier. Learning is a difficult task and is made easier when you make dry lesson interesting, exciting, and enjoyable. As a professional teacher, you make learning easier when you simplify the complex and concretize the abstract. This is what is ethical for every professional teacher like you ought to do. This you can do after 4 long years of academic preparation. What happens sometimes, however, is teachers complicate the simple and teaches only at the abstract level. To facilitate learning, a conducive learning environment is necessary. It has been proven that learners learn best in a pleasant environment. A pleasant environment is where the learners can be themselves because teachers are caring. No need to put best self forward because teachers and classmates truly care and take you for who you are. All forms of bullying has no place in a conducive learning environment. A conducive learning environment makes learners believe that they can do the work and they feel accepted. A favorable learning climate is not competitive where everyone is tense. The teacher who believes that every child deserves a champion, an adult who will never give up on them, who understands the power of connection and insists they become the best they can possibly be, like teacher Rita Pearson in TED Talk, is a facilitator of learning.
So, Assalamualaikum and good morning and maadjong buntag kaning tanan, especially to ma'am. So, my name is John Michael Reyes. My topic is all about teacher leadership and initiatives. So, when we say leadership is the ability of an individual or a group of people to influence and guide followers, members, or an organization, society, or team. Leadership is an attribute tied to person's title, seniority, or ranking in hierarchy. So, in leadership, like parang nasa taas ka to guide yung mga nasa baba and to lead them to success. And especially when when we say initiative, is like doing something without kanang pagsasabihan ka pa, or yung hindi ka na dapat pagsasabihan, like sa yung common sense mo na yun kung gagawin mo yun for the good of all the people. And then before we start, here are my learning objectives, which is at the end of this lesson, the student will be able to first identify the stakeholders of implementing curriculum. Second, enumerate the role of each stakeholders. Let's start. Here we are in section 2. Teachers play a crucial role in community leadership and initiative. Like, pinaka-importante daw ang teacher sa isang community. Like, play a crucial role means very napakataas ng kanyang antas sa isang komunidad or sa isang society dahil sila yung mga nagtuturo, sila yung naging role model, sila yung mga kaagapay when it comes to education because and yeah, so they are expected to actively participate in community movements for moral, social, economic, and civic betterment. Ayon dito, teachers are expected na talaga na magpa-participate sila sa community dahil hindi naman pwedeng maging teacher ka lang sa classroom. You also have to play your role outside, not just in the school, because being a teacher is a lifetime. Being an educator is a lifetime. So, pinaka-importante dito is when you are a teacher, you should not bring hindi mo dapat iiwan yung profession mo sa school lamang. So, kung saan ka pupunta, isa ka talagang guro na role model ng lahat. So, ayun, expected ka dahil pinaka-importante kasi is dapat yung teacher is close sa community or merong ugnayan sa komunidad. And then, next, schools are at the heart of communities and teachers should be engaged, be in the world, and be in the world with others and for others. So, ayun nga, yung sinabi ko kanina is hindi ka lang guro sa isang paaralan kundi guro ka ng lahat sa komunidad panghabang buhay dahil pinili mo yung ganyang antas, so paninindigan mo talaga, like hindi ka dahil naging guro lang dahil sa sweldo or dahil lang para kumita, kundi iisipin mo na it's your life, it's your passion to help not just your students but for others because by helping or handling well your students, it can help the society which is doon nakalagay ang mga students. It can help magiging guide ka sa kanila kung if may problem sila, you can ask them nicely, not shout at them, to provide ka ng to prevent mga anger issues and everything. So be in the world with others and for others. So ayun, so teachers should not be detached from community life but should be actively involved. So again, yung sinabi ko kanina, it is important na yung teacher maging actively magpa-participate sa isang lugar kung asan siya. Yung experience, yung ko dito is, yung mga na-observe ko dito is very yung nakakaano talaga, naka-question sa akin, bakit ganito? But now I understand. Isang example is yung tita ko. Bago lang siya naging LPT, which is licensed professional teacher. So, hindi siya pinaano muna sa mga urban cities, kundi dun siya sa mga rural areas pinadala, sa mga bukid-bukid doon sa Subanin area dahil lack of no offense pero lack of education pa rin doon. So by that, it can help the community to understand education and to lead them to success in a good way. So ayun din nakita ko, malaking tulong kasi when especially when you're a teacher, you can help them by teaching them how to teach, how to sew, how to be a negosyante and everything. So they're expected to be inclined to the society where he or she belongs. So here we are, the teachers are encouraged to provide leadership initiative without waiting for the community to ask for help. Yan naman talaga yung totoong meaning na initiative, without waiting for others to told you. It's like a common sense na sa'yo. Like for example na, pagiging initiative mo to the point na if may problema sa school nyo or may kakulangan sa school nyo, hindi sa lahat ng panahon sa DepEd ka sa DepEd ka hihingi ng tulong. Pwede ka ding humingi ng tulong sa barangay kasi yan yung pinaka-importante. For example na need nyo ng mga materials na ganito for your event. So, the barangay is there for you. So, if the barangay needs you, andun ka din para sa kanila. So, parang helping each other, be in the world with others and for others. So, every teacher is seen as an intellectual leader in the community, especially in the barangay, and should welcome opportunities to provide leadership. Every teacher is very nakikitaan talaga sila ng intellectual na pag-iisip when it comes to leadership. It is because sila yung naghihirap na para matuto yung nasa komunidad or nasa kanyang surroundings. Kasi yan talaga yung role niya. So, especially in the barangay and dapat open. If teacher ka, open ka din sa mga open ka sa opportunities na mag-provide ng leadership kasi you are a teacher and you need to be a leader of all. And then, teachers should take the initiative to offer help for the improvement of the community. So, nasa iyo na yan kung gusto mong tumulong. Importante talaga tumulong. Hindi yung gusto kong tumulong dahil ganito. Tumulong ka with all of your heart para mag-improve ang society. As what Rizal said, education is the key to success. So, teachers should take initiative. Like, for example, in my understanding to po, for example, napunta ka sa rural areas and then nakita mo yung problem sa barangay yun na madaming lamok, and then of course, hindi mo papayagan yung mga bata na magkasakit or yung mga tinuturuan mo, especially their families, dahil makaka-affect dito sa studies nila. So, pupunta ka sa barangay or mag-ano ka sa school niyo na ganito yung gagawin natin mga students, mag-ano ka sa kanila, orientation about sa mga ganito with their parents, about sa paano mag-prevent ng mga lamok, paano mo i-handle yung ganito mga situation and everything. So, they can fulfill various roles within the community such as guidance counselor, prayer leader, commenter, fiesta coordinator, contest judge or coach, financial advisor, nurse, and doctor. Yes, it is very correct. Like, strongly agreed. Like, sa teacher yung pinupuntahan, di ba? For example, nasa school ka, and then you're obliged to help talaga. You're accountable for it. So, for example, may nasugatan sa mga students mo, di ba, nagiging doktor ka agad, nagiging nurse ka agad, and then magiging for example, and then also sa school nyo, pwede ka maging judge or coach, and then especially pwede ka ding maging prayer leader, commenter, and fiesta coordinator, and everything, especially guidance counselor. Initiative mo na to. For example, yung bata mo is nakikita mong mahina siya sa mga ibang subjects, and then but meron namang nag-excel sa subject, but nakita mo talagang may problema sa kanyang performance task, and then compared to the other students. So, hindi mo siya ibabagsak agad, hindi mo siya papagalitan agad kung bakit ganito, Mr. Reyes, bakit ka ganito, your score is very low. So, as a teacher, you should be the guidance counselor for your students, para hindi sila maging, kasi yung school is second home na yan. So, hindi mo alam kung ano yung pinagdadaanan ng bata. So, para makatulong ka, kung gusto mong mag-improve talaga yung performance task niya, you should ask him or her nicely, and parang i-counsel mo siya kung gato, paano ikungkuan yan, ano pang dapat gawin. So, ayun. And then, collaboration with the community, including parents and other members, is essential for the success of school activities. Like for example, may mga programs kayo sa school, parang dinner for a cause or something, show for a cause, mga ganito. So hindi siya magiging successful kung wala kung wala ang barangay na mga kasi as my experience din sa namin, yung nagpa-dinner sa school ko, which is private school, very talaga siya sa community, like nakikipag-collab talaga, like naghahanap ng mga sponsors, and then by that sponsors pwede mong parang advertisement na din sa nila, sa product nila, sa then sa sa nagbabantay sa amin, which is the barangay captains, barangay officials. Sila yung nagbabantay, mga barangay tanod, sila yung nagbabantay sa amin during our performance. And then yung mga tao around us within the community, sila din yung nag-a-attend. And then with the support of the parents din, nakakapag-perform ng maayos sa mga bata. And then ayun, nagli-lead into success. So collaboration is very important. Even here in Mindanao State University, we always do collabs to the other universities here. For example, the UP Diliman, every sem naman siguro may mga orientation, and then puro mga prof dito is mga taga-ibang mga taga Xavier University, University of the Philippines, mga ganyan. It is because no man is an island. We need to connect each other for the betterment of the society and the community. Sa CPE 101 ko yan na yung sa teaching profession, yung tumatak talaga sa akin is no one is an island. Hindi ka mabubuhay kung isasarili mo lang yan lahat. Although I guess mabubuhay ka, but there are no improvements, or there are no parang hindi ka aangat dahil nga wala kang dahil di ba, sharing ideas will improve your mga thoughts, mga kung ano pang gagawin mo, makikipag-share ka ng ideas, ganito, pwede ba to, tapos mag-a-advise na naman siya na yes, ganyan. So collaboration is very important with the community. So lastly is teachers' participation in community affairs demonstrate their responsibility and importance to the society. So teachers' participation is very important dahil yung ayon sa sinabi ko kanina, they lead us to success, they guide us through success, and then ayun, meron siyang napakalaking role sa society. Teachers are very important dahil sila yung nagpapass ng education in what kind of fields ba yun. Yung kanina yung sinabi ko na just dito, they can fulfill various roles. Yes, they can fulfill various roles. Once you're a teacher, you're a dancer, you're a guidance counselor, you're a singer, everything talaga, lahat. A teacher is a multitasker. Kaya nila lahat dahil ayun yung field nila na to teach and to learn. Not just to teach but to learn. And then ayun, sila yung parang sila yung hinahangad ng lahat. Dahil for example, kung ka nursing student ka, you can be a teacher. Everyone can be a teacher. Hindi ka pwede, hindi importante na I'm sorry. It's just not about the profession, like hindi ka magtuturo dahil LPT ka. Madaming nakapagturo na hindi LPT, like yung sa amin. I am very proud sa community ko, kung saan ako nanggaling. It is because our community is very active when it comes to educating the youth, because as what Rizal said, we believe that the youth is the key to success. Sorry. Ang kabataan ay ang pag-asa ng bayan. So ayun, nagiging na sa amin yan, ampay na magturo kahit na hindi ka like yung mga teachers na at student teachers sa amin na pumupunta ng mga, we have this Subanin village and other ethnic groups na andun sa mga bulubundukin namin na pero protektahan talaga ng government na hindi maging modernized sobra and hindi kalimutan yung identity nila. By that, nagpapadala na ang government ng mga doon kahit hindi ka LPT at andun ka pa sa mga experience bago ka mag-LPT, pinapadala ka doon para maging para makatulong ka din sa society. Dahil as yun sa discussion natin last time na hindi gagana ang isang community kung merong may mga hindi nagpa-function. Like for example, sa school, if hindi nagpa-function ang principal, wala kayong improvement, walang mangyayari sa school ninyo kung hindi active yung mga kung walang teachers, hindi din kuan. So it is important to to build a strong structure talaga, and then pinaka-importante na doon ang teachers because sila yung nagre-rely ng kaalaman. So that's all for my report.
Assalamualaikum and good day. I am Sintiku Sharma and I'm going to continue our report on the Code of Ethics for Professional Teachers, Section 3, the Teacher and the Community. Personal teacher with honor and dignity. In Section 3, it states that every teacher shall merit reasonable social recognition for which purpose shall behave with honor and dignity at all times, and refrain from such activities as gambling, smoking, drunkenness, and other excesses match illicit relations. Obviously, if you are a professional teacher and you are an inveterate gambler, chain smoker, and alcoholic, it is common knowledge that you are engaged in an illicit relationship, what we refer in Filipino as bawal na relasyon, immorality, and illegal. So do you think you have moral authority? The answer would probably be no. That's why you as a teacher must keep that honor and dignity that you have by refraining from doing such activities. Because who will listen to you when you're going to talk? Who will listen to you when you advise your class not to smoke, not to drink, not to gamble, and not to do this and that, if it is an opposite of what you are doing? So your audience will say, look who's talking. It's a matter of do what I say, not what I do. But no, people tend to follow what you are doing rather than what you are saying. Society expects so much of teachers that if you fail to live up to the challenge to behave or model behavior, they are condemned or you are condemned without trial. You don't have a chance to explain yourself. It is no wonder why there are people who are afraid to answer the call to teach, who are not choosing the course of education because of that you are a model behavior to your students and to the other people. Society seems to expect much more from professional teachers than any other professions. So the quotation states the influence of a good teacher can never be erased, but the influence of a dishonorable teacher is as lasting. That's why, as a teacher, act with honor and dignity and refrain from doing such activities that is not good for your profile as a professional teacher, because you are the role model of your students and the people in the community. Teachers' attitude toward local customs and traditions. Section 4 expects every teacher to live for and with the community and shall Therefore, study and understand local customs and traditions in order to have a sympathetic attitude. Therefore, refrain from disparaging the community. So if you are a professional teacher, you need to study, understand, and respect the culture of other people. For example, you are assigned to a community where your culture is different from their culture. Therefore, what you're going to do is you need to study, understand, and respect their culture. Because in every culture, there is a positive and negative aspects. So, just appreciate the positive aspects that their culture has. So, by doing that, you are avoiding the act of being ethnocentric and xenocentric. When we say ethnocentric, it is the thought that your culture is superior than other culture. By that, it will result to you look down the culture of other people because you're thinking that your culture is a superior one. And while xenocentric is the thought that your culture is inferior with other culture, and it is not also good, same with being ethnocentric, because being xenocentric, you are downgrading your culture. So there is no culture as perfect. Fortunate and happy community are those who have teachers who respect, study, and understand, as well as appreciate the culture that they have.
Assalamualaikum and a pleasant day to each and everyone. I am Shahara Mangondato and I will be discussing the professional teacher and information update. So the professional teacher and information update in section 5, it states that the teacher shall help the school inform the community about the school's work, accomplishments, needs, and problems. So bilang isang guro or bilang isang teacher, is may responsibilidad siya or obligasyon o kinakailangan niya na tulungan ang school na magbigay information or to give an update kung ano na ba to give an update about sa kung ano man ang nangyayari sa buong paaralan or within, may it be with the student or in the classroom or the institution as a whole. So yung teacher is dapat niyang i-inform is all about dapat ini-inform niya yung community about sa kung ano man yung natapos na, kung ano man yung na-achieve na, kung ano man yung na-accomplish ba. And kung ano yung pangangailangan ng isang estudyante, ng buong classroom, or even the institution as a whole, and kung ano man yung problema na kinakaharap within the institution, sa students, or the classroom. And kung ano man yung meron in order na to give solution if meron mang problema kinakaharap. So yung community dito is community here refers to internal as well as external stakeholders. So yung internal stakeholders, it includes the students, the parents of the students, and the teachers. So from the word itself, the internal, so it means within a certain place or within the institution. So, yung mga stakeholders dito is revolving or involving doon is yung student, yung parents ng student, and as well as yung teachers. So, sumunod naman nun is yung external stakeholders. So, external stakeholders are the other parents in the community without children enrolled in school, barangay officials and other government officials, non-government organization, government organization, alumni, and retirees. So ito naman from the word itself na external, so it means outside. So hindi siya yung mga stakeholders within or sa loob ng isang institution, kundi sa labas. Kumbaga, they are one of the parang may engagement sila within the institution, or may engagement sila within may engagement sila or interaction sila. So, yung external stakeholders is, for example, neto is yung parents. Katulad nga na na-mention dito is yung parents sa isang komunidad. Pero, wala siyang anak na pinapaaral sa isang institution or educational institution or sa paaralan na yun. Wala siyang, like parang hindi ba official enroll or hindi talaga doon nag-aaral. So, the barangay, so officials, organizations, alumni, and retirees. So, that are all, yun yung mga external stakeholders. So the parents teachers association. So we have parents and teachers association, or PTA, in place in every school. Some private schools call it homeschool association or family advisory council. This is for internal stakeholders only. A PTA is an association of teachers and parents with children who are enrolled in a school. It is a forum for discussion on school problems and how can they be solved. So ito namang Parents Teachers Association, kung i-base natin siya sa stakeholders, is internal siya. Why? Kasi na-mention na rin naman dito is parents. Kasi 'di ba nga katulad ng na-mention sa internal stakeholders na involved or included doon yung parents. So, the Parents and Teachers Association, ito yung assembly, meeting, or forum, or parang gathering between or among the student, the teacher, and the parents. Kumbaga, dito nila pinag-uusapan lahat. Like, for example, pinag-uusapan lahat kung ano ba yung magiging requirement, or ano ba yung magiging possible scenarios or situation na ikakaharap ng bata sa loob ng paaralan or yung paaralan mismo as a whole. Kung ano man yung magiging possible problems or anything na situation na kakaharapin ng school as a whole, and as well as the student na pinapaaral ng teacher. So, as far as I remembered, like, pansin naman siguro natin, no? Like, we have these experiences naman. And it goes to all na during our grade school up until junior high school is a day before the official school year is nagkakaroon ng PTA meeting yung parents natin, and as well as yung mga teachers. Kasi, like, parang doon na ini-inform ng teacher kung ano yung mangyayari, kung ano na yung magiging flow ng academic year, kung ano ba yung dapat nilang i-expect, kung ano ba yung mangyayari, or kung ano man yung dapat i-prevent na mangyari, kung ano yung mga policies, rules and regulation, or anything at all na magiging malalaman nila kung ano yung magiging engagement or involvement ng bata sa paaralan or habang nag-aaral sila. So, one of this I remember as well na hindi lang naman siya parang a meeting or a forum or assembly na pinag-uusapan lang about sa kung ano man yung magiging flow ng pag-aaral ng isang bata, but as well as far as I can remember na after every quarter ba, like every quarter merong situation wherein, for example, magre-releasing na ng card, tapos magkakaroon ng meeting kasi syempre yung parents nandoon. Then parang dito naman is parang pwedeng i-inform ng teacher. Like, for example, if yung parents is may question siya regarding sa kung ano yung performance ng anak niya. So, parang yun, yung teacher is may inform niya, yung student niya, may inform niya yung parents na kung ano ba yung nangyayari during inside the class, kung bakit niya nakuha yung results or outcomes na meron siya. So, yung PTA meeting or PTA itself is nandoon na lahat, like parang discussion, usapin sa kung ano-ano man yung nangyayari within the classroom or within the institution, kung may problema ba or how they can even resolve it, and anything at all na anything at all na makakatulong or anything na parang related lang siya sa pag-aaral ng bata or sa pag-aaral ng bata or sa pinag-aaralan ng bata. So, next is the School Governing Council. So, other than the PTA is the School Governing Council. The SGC has different membership and functions. A School Governing Council, as a policy-making body, has the school head as Chief Executive Officer, Manager, and Chief Operation Officers. The formation of SGC in every school is a proof of school head sharing his or her leadership with members of the community. It determines a general policies on student welfare, discipline, well-being. It is concerned with the development and implementation, monitoring, and evaluation of the school improvement plan. So, ito namang SGC or the School Governing Council, from the word itself, governing council, ito yung group of people or like group of people who are actually leading, or sila yung tumatayo, or sila yung tumatayo as a leader or as a ruler ng isang institution. For example is yung principal, assistant principal, the secretary, the board of directors, the CEO, the COO, the manager. So, yung mga yon is sila yung involved naman dito sa School Governing Council. Bakit? Kasi sila yung nagde-determine ng mga policies. Sila yung parang they are the one who are policy making body. Kumbaga sila yung gumagawa ng polisiya, sila yung nag-a-amend, or kung may kailangan mang baguhin. So, yung SGC is parang mas concerned sila sa development and implementation, the monitoring and evaluation ng school improvement plan. Kung kung whether for example, may isa silang policy na pinatupad in the starting of school year, tapos in the end of school year na parang is it effective ba? Epektibo ba yung policy na in-apply nila, or parang hindi ba nasusunod, or parang hindi ba kaaya-aya na ipinatupad yon, or something like that. Na yun yung parang concern doon ng School Governing Council, just like the council even in the student leadership. Like for example, in your department, na yung mga officers, sila din yung parang ang function kasi nila, in order for them to function, parang sila yung nagsiserve as a leader in a way na sila yung gagawa ng kung ano man yung concerning sa parang internal, or like kung ano man yung kailangan na pasikot-sikot sa nakapaloob doon sa isang institution. Like kumbaga, kung ano ba yung kailangan projects na i-implement, kung ano man yung dapat na kung may suggestion ba na like parang may gagawin na ganito or ganyan. So, yun yung katulad din nun, yun ang ginagawa ng SGC. So, parang kung sa School Governing Council at sa PTA, the difference, although they are stakeholders, The difference between them kasi is the PTA teachers, the PTA, the Parents Teacher Association and the School Governing Council is sa PTA is parang revolving siya with the parents, students and teachers. Parang doon nagkakaroon ng discussion about sa kung ano man yung problema ng student or ng school at kung paano mareresolba ng dalawang stakeholders yon, while yung school governing council naman is parang as a whole na siya, like yung kumbaga like yung internal problems or issues na kinahaharap ng school is sila yung magbibigay na solusyon doon or sila yung mag-a-amend sa isang policy or sila yung magmo-monitor, i-evaluate whether or not parang effective ba yon or dapat ba na i-include nila yon sa SIP. So, again, when we say internal stakeholders, it means yung close relationship or like including doon yung student, teachers, and parents ng students, while the externals is yung outside, the stakeholder outside the institution, then yung PTA meeting na a forum discussion on school problems and how can they be solved, and yung school governing council naman being concerned with the development and implementation, monitoring, and evaluation of the school improvement plan or SIP. So, yun lahat yung naka-included sa section 5 ng the professional teacher and information update sa Code of Ethics.
Okay, so good afternoon, Mom. Before I begin my part, I'd like to introduce myself first. I am Asridia Menudin, member of the Group 7. So, as we continue on our discussion in Chapter 7, I'll be discussing the last two parts under the Chapter 7, which is the professional teacher and the government officials and other professionals. So, basically speaking, it's about how the professional teacher should behave along with government officials and other professionals. So, in Section 7, it has stated that every teacher shall maintain harmonious and pleasant personal and official relations with other professionals, with government officials, and with the people individually or collectively. Meaning that every professional teacher should have a respectful manner or way of interacting with the other professionals, such as police officers, doctors, nurses, or other individual in the community or in the society, as well as the other government officials such as mayor, chairman, councilors, or whatever so, and with the people individually or collectively. It's better. It is important to be a respectful and professional teacher. So you have to, as a professional teacher, a professional teacher should behave ethically and should respect the people individually or collectively in the society or in the community. As a professional teacher, you cannot afford not to be in pleasant relations with others, especially those with whom you work with, like other professional teachers. It is always best to be in good terms with everyone else in the community. So, being a professional teacher, you cannot afford not to be in pleasant relationship with others, especially those other professional teachers or fellow teachers or administrators. So, when you become a professional teacher, you should also act like a professional one. You cannot afford not to be in pleasant relations, meaning that you would not want to have a conflict relationship or bad impressions from other from other teachers or from other people, such as administrators or your fellow teachers in general. It is always best to be in good terms with everyone else in the community, meaning it is better that you have a good impressions from others, not to act like a fake one, but kailangan nasa magandang kalagayan yung relationship mo sa ibang tao, diba? Bilang professional na teacher, sa kang role model na tinitingala ng yung mga student. So, if makikita nila na hindi ka maayos na nakikipag-interact sa mga ibang tao, iisipin nila na hindi ka nag-a-act bilang professional teacher na dapat mong gawin or dapat kang maging na professional na isang individual. So, the last part under the chapter 7 is the professional teacher does not use position to proselyte. Now, for the last part of or last subtopic under the chapter 7, which is the professional teacher does not use position to proselyte. So, finally, in section 8, it stated that a teacher possesses freedom to attend church and worship as appropriate, but shall not use his position and influence to proselyte others. Firstly, let us define what is proselyte. When we say proselyte, it refers to an action when a certain individual convincing other people to choose his or her religion. It's like for instance, in Christians, they use the term missionaries, wherein they spread the words of the Jesus Christ in order for other people to choose or to convert, not in a specific way, but the intention is there. So, to be in a position means to have power or influence for a purpose, for you to use that position to perform your job as a professional teacher. So, being a professional teacher, meaning you have the power or the influence for a purpose, and that is to spread the knowledge, to teach the students according to what they should have, what they should have to get, or what are the things that they should acquire being a student, for you to use that position to perform your job as a professional teacher, because that is the role or the goal or the objective of being a professional teacher. It is highly unprofessional for a teacher like you to use your position of influence to proselyte. Besides, freedom of religion is guaranteed by the 1987 Philippine Constitution, stated that no law shall be made respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, the free exercise and enjoyment of religious profession and worship without discrimination or preference shall forever be allowed. Okay, so you cannot or you can't use your position of having the power to influence by proselyting or by convincing other people to choose the religion you are in, diba? Besides, nakapaloob or guaranteed sa batas, which is the 1987 Constitution, is the freedom of religion. So, bawat isa ay may karapatang pumili ng kanyang religion. At na dapat hindi kinakailangan na mag-impluwensya ng ibang tao para lang piliin ang religion na gusto mong piliin nila, di ba? So, no law shall be made respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. So, walang batas na nagsasaad na sa isang religion na bawal silang bawal silang mag-exercise ng pag-spread ng salita ng Diyos or pagbibigay ng mga wisdom from their respective gods. The free exercise and enjoyment of religious profession and worship without discrimination or preference shall forever be allowed. Okay, that is under the Article 2 in Section 6 in the 1987 Philippine Constitution. I think that would be all. Thank you.